stop me along the way. With the gum disease in acromegaly, typically it's due to the food or plaque accumulating in spaces between the teeth. And that causes the body to mount an inflammatory response. And then you get puffy gums that bleed easily. As it goes further on, we tend to get bone loss as part of the inflammatory process. So your teeth start to get less supported, and then they start to get loose. And then people can lose teeth that way. With gum disease, we hear gingivitis and gingivitis is just an inflammation of the gingiva or the gums. It's just gum disease that's very, very early on. And as it progresses, that's when you start to get lost in the support apparatus around the tooth. That's where teeth start to get start to lose their anchors in the bone. That's just a collection of the condition. With gum disease, treatment-wise, oral hygiene is really paramount. You really just very, very diligent brushing and flossing. A water pick can be helpful. The water pick is a great tool. You can get them at all the bigger drugstores. It's a machine that has a reservoir, and it's like a garden hose almost. And there's a little jet that you can direct at the gum line. And it'll send a pulse of water, or water with a little bit of Listerine, and that'll kind of cleanse any pockets or spaces between the teeth and the gums. It's a very, very good tool, especially if you have limited manual dexterity. It's a very good way to help keep things nice and clean. Regular cleanings with your dentist, the dental hygienist. Sometimes you may find you need local anesthetic or freezing if there's any pocketing. To get the job done right, done well, sometimes we'll have to go down a little deeper, and that may mean some freezing. Another important thing with gum disease is to if there is active periodontal disease, or if there's active change in the teeth and closing any spaces, if it's reasonable to do so. Now, sometimes we'll see spaces, but we may even wait a little while to see if there are any implications over time. If things are stable, then it may make sense to leave things for some time just to see what the changes are. But there are times when closing spaces that are large that may need some intervention. Treating with a periodontist if you see advanced periodontal disease, and sometimes we recruit the help with their gum dentist and periodontist. So this is just when I was putting this presentation together, I saw all these pictures of them. So which ones aren't too gross to show? This just shows some. It's not very but gum disease will often show up as red, puffy gums. Some areas where the gum appears to be shrunken around the roots of teeth. Gums will bleed. This is a little guy that has some gingivitis. I see that. With gum disease, there are some factors that predispose to gum disease. The biggest one is probably genetics. Genetics is a huge one. And with genetics, probably the big one is something we call biotype. You see some people who have thick gum tissue, and some people have thin gum tissue. People with thick gum tissue have it easy because they tend to be more resilient, and they tend to not have their condition progress from a periodontal perspective as quickly or as much as people with thin gum tissue. Unfortunately, thin gum tissue is more common. But people with thick gum tissue get off a little easier. Smoking is a huge one. Smoking and gum disease. You've never seen those photographs on cigarette packages. I see that not every day, less often these days, but certainly smoking and gum disease go hand in hand. Oral hygiene. If you're inclined to gum disease, then you really have to keep things really clean. Diet diets that are high in acidic foods tend to contribute towards both tooth-bearing and gum disease. And other disease factors like diabetes. And people who have diabetes and acromegaly have a bit of a double whammy because with diabetes, there's impaired healing. Gum tissue tends to be more inflamed. Inflammatory process is more profound. So it's quite a double whammy. One of the things that I think with acromegaly, another direct effect, which may, I think, be frustrating for people who have acromegaly, and that's the way the bite changes. Because that can be a double whammy. You can get jaw pain or muscular pain. How many people have jaw pain with acromegaly? Jaw pain. So that's a very interesting one. With acromegaly, the way the jaws work, the lower jaw is a very interesting bone. It's interesting in the way it moves. The lower jaw has really two kinds of movement. It has rotational movement where hinges open and close like a barn door. Also, the lower jaw can slide forwards and backwards or side to side. The home base position for the lower jaw is where it has that barn door movement, where it can hinges open and close. And what can happen if they're in that position, what we like to see is all the teeth touch at about the same time. Now, if you get some teeth touching before others, or if the bite's kind of teeth that move a little bit, as you close, your jaw may be directed to move one way or the other. So especially if a person is clenching or grinding and their teeth are moving around through the bone slowly over time, the jaw will be directed to be off to one side or the other or forward. And what happens with that is the muscles that control the bite get stretched. And with that stretching of the muscles, people can develop quite profound pain with that. So most of the people with that condition, with pain, jaw pain with acromegaly, it's most likely a muscular thing. It's most likely a pain in the muscles because the jaw is being directed one way or another. Now with acromegaly also, there can be bony changes in the jaw itself, and that's just a confounding factor, and that could maybe magnify the problem. But certainly with acromegaly, as teeth move, TMJ or muscular pain is a very, very common thing. And that should really be discussed with the dentist because there really are things that can be done to help that. Bite plane wear, we'll get into that a little bit, really can help even the forces and keep things from being overloaded from both the muscular and joint point of view. The other thing with the bite change is the functional overload of teeth. With the functional overload of teeth, that happens as the teeth move throughout the arch. We talked about everything hitting at once. So if you get teeth that are moving in position, the way they interact with the closing teeth changes over time. And as that occurs, teeth can break down. The teeth can snap. The fillings or restorations can break. Teeth can get loose. The nerves inside teeth can die. So there's a bunch of things can happen in that way. This is an X-ray of it's called a cephalometric X-ray, side of the head X-ray. And with this, can everybody see these slides up there? I'm seeing it pretty good on my screen here. With this X-ray, if you look closely at the teeth, this is the upper teeth here and lower teeth down here. If this person were to close or move, you can almost see that as your jaw kind of swung closed or hinged closed, their back teeth would hit first. And in this person, I could, just by looking at this X-ray, I could say almost for certain this person got jaw pain because they're just hitting those back teeth all the time, and their teeth are probably sensitive too. But that's the sort of thing that we would expect to see in acromegaly from the jaw perspective. So this is what I kind of referred to here with the movement of teeth. As teeth move through the jawbone, then the way the teeth interact with each other will change. And then the teeth kind of run the show with the jaw because the way they interact is going to cause the jaw to go one way or the other. And especially if a person's a clencher or a grinder, and some of the medications that are taken by people with acromegaly can contribute to clenching and grinding. And that's another double whammy. So if you're clenching and grinding, your teeth are interacting in a way that deflects your jaw, and there's a high chance you're going to have some drop pain. And as I say, the pain can be either muscular, which is thankfully more common and more treatable type, or bony, caused by bones. Symptoms of TMJ, we say, it's funny, we always hear people say they have TMJ, and it's kind of like saying you have a knee, you know. Your TMJ is your temporomandibular joint, and I guess it's just that we're on the street.